All right there, everybody. How you all doing? Hope you're all doing good. AKM Live, episode 7 is now live on YouTube, Twitch, and over on X at the same time. Today, probably going to be a bit of a short show, guys. I've gone a bit live early because I was watching the French-Belgium game, and I thought, oh, this is a pretty decent game. And then France has just got that on going on, so I thought, I'll start doing it now. And maybe get ready for that the game afterwards. Can't remember who's playing afterwards now. Let's have a look. Who's playing later on? Not that it's really important to fair. Portugal, Slovenia. That'd be an interesting game, I reckon. Let's see what happens there. Pretty shame about Belgium. They were in my my sweepstake for work, actually. So that's me done and dusted, I guess, with the sweepstake at work. So then, guys, this show today, we're going to be talking about the Anthony Gordon stuff, the player watch for the Euros and the Copa America, since that's proper kicked off now and got a bit far going. And then I've also got a few other things I want to touch on that I've just kind of been doing a bit of a mooch about while I've been waiting for this to go live. Calafiori, again, he's been mentioned with Liverpool. And we've also got Konaté speaking out about not being a part of the French team for the Euros, basically, you know, in regards to him not playing or anything like that. So then, guys, right, let's start off with, we'll do the warm-up like we normally do anyway on this channel. So on a little bit for you today. Obviously, it's the first day where Arne Slot has, you know, and all the players that have not gone on international duty would have reported back today for training and everything, that first day and everything like that. So he'll have his first look at some of the players, see how everything's going on. You know, it's early days, obviously, you know, in regards to everything. So don't expect anything massive from that. But yeah, today's the day. It's the first day of players reporting back, a lot of the youngsters and everything. So, you know, I guess there's nothing much more we can say on that. So, you know, we'll move on. So today, apparently, was it today? In fact, I might be lying to you there. A couple of days ago, Ibrahima Konaté has been talking about being frustrated with his limited role for France at the Euros. And he basically was at a press conference ahead of their game against Belgium tonight. And he basically said that he's not really played or anything like that. Deschamps been playing Saliba and Upamecano as the defensive partnership. And, you know, it says here that the defender head into the tournament knowing that that might be the case after something of a frustrating year with Liverpool that saw him manage just 22 Premier League appearances, 46% of the available minutes in the Premier League. That was largely due to injury, with him suffering from a muscular injury and then thigh problems, which saw him spend time on the treatment table. He worked hard to bounce back from that to be fit for France this summer, and it seems has been left a little frustrated by his lack of playing time as a result. So there's some quotes here from Ibu now, saying that I came with a lot of expectations, and that's part of football. I knew what my place was before the first match, and it's frustrating, but I know my role on and off the field. 100% Ibu would never have sat on the bench. I didn't play for a month and a half. I'm prepared. I almost passed out more than once. The preparation was very short. It's part of football, and it was a good lesson for me. Now, for me, it reminds me very much of the whole Luke Shaw thing. You know, why Gareth Southgate taking Luke Shaw when he's injured and wasted position. The only left back you take to bloody Euros. Like, it makes no sense whatsoever. We don't have to get into that, though. England was so lucky to get through yesterday. Copa of Anfield letting me know that Belgium are going out. Yeah, cheers for that, mate. Thanks for that. That's me done it. Sweepstakes, like I said, anyway, in regards to that. Other than that, I don't think there's been anything else really to talk about in regards to Ibrahima Konaté. A bit disappointing, isn't it? Like I say, these things with these players that are injured, I never understand why they take them, you know, because it's not really on them to get the players fit, is it? It's on the teams that, you know, the Premier League teams or the club sides, whatever, to get the players fit. It's not on the international teams to potentially try and get them fit or anything like that. It's just a bit pointless to me, I think, in all fairness. Right. So we do have some players, though, to talk about that have been playing in the tournaments, and obviously Liverpool related. So before we get to them, obviously we know that Andy Robertson's no longer there. Scotland were obviously kicked out at the group stage. I think they were out by second game, I think, if I'm not wrong there. Maybe I'm right, I don't know. What's he saying here? Copa. I'm more shocked that we only took the one left back and he's in. Yeah, Luke Shaw. Yeah, exactly. Like, could have taken Ben Chilwell. What other left backs could they have taken? I don't. You know what? It doesn't matter. Like, we could have taken bloody what's his face? Well, we've took him, but we could have played Joe Gomez at left back. He's played a lot for Liverpool at left back this season, so I don't understand why he's sticking with Trippier. I just don't get it. In all fairness, I really, really don't. But yeah, sticking with players that were gone. So Robbo's obviously out. So Bosley went out as well, so he's no longer there. But the players that we do have there for Liverpool are the Dutch lads and Trent, but he's obviously not played or anything like that. Did anyone see the video of him yesterday, him and Gomez, after the England game, when him and Gomez just didn't look like they could be arsed or anything? Like, that's quite interesting. What's this say? France have qualified and Belgium officially out. Oh, God's sake. Well, that's official now then, I guess. I bet Gareth's telling me that in comments now that they're out. Oh, definitely would. I'd play Gomez. Yeah, I said for a bit now that I'd play Gomez at left back for in these. I don't understand why they don't. He's got more experience there than what's his face, Trippier, in my opinion, anyway. Right. So I've been saying this enough now. The players that are still there that are Liverpool related, we have Cody Gakpo, guys. He's still there. The last game that they played, they got beat, did the Dutch, 3-2 by Austria. They came third in the group. Now, I think the last time I touched on these, they were top of the group after they drew 0-0 with France. But yeah, as I say here, they got beat by Austria. He's played 261 minutes, 76% passing accuracy. He's got 6 shots and 66% accuracy while shooting and 1 goal in the tournament. Nothing much to shout about. I do think that it started off pretty well in the game that I saw him play anyway, in regards to, I can't remember what the first game they played now was. I don't even know what mine's gone, guys. But anyway, he played not too bad, to be fair. In that first game, I thought he looked very attacking down that left-hand side anyway, which ties in very nicely to the old Anthony Gordon stuff, doesn't it? And then the only other Dutch player we've got in there is obviously Virgil van Dijk. Again, Holland lost 3-2 to Austria, third in the group. He's played every single minute of the games that they could potentially play. 91% passing accuracy and 18 ball recoveries. Again, I do think that he's not won a single tackle still, guys, as far as I'm aware, in regards to all of this. I think there's a lot of it that's not doing too good for Liverpool in this situation anyway. I do think that he could do potentially a little bit more. He's coming for a fair bit of stick as well from the Dutch players out there. So yeah, he started the season not too well. So yeah, there you go. Copa Vanfield again in the comments here. Why was Van Basten having a go at VD? I think it's because he just don't think he's a decent captain or something like that. And I'm sure when I was looking on here, actually, just then, I'm sure there was something that Van Dijk had come out and said something. Let me just have a quick look for it now, guys. Here we go. So I can take that down now. We don't need that up anymore. There's this article here. I saw this in passing just then when I was looking for other stuff. It says here that Van Dijk has admitted that he knows performances for the Dutch team have not been up to par and he needs to bear some responsibility for that. The defender has been speaking at a press conference for the Dutch team today as they gear up for the knockout stages of the Euros. Ronald Koeman's side are yet to really hit their stride in the tournament, despite having successfully qualified from their group with a late winner over Poland, followed by a 0-0 draw against France and a 3-2 defeat to Austria. The latter result has seen real criticism flying in, with the Dutch media and pundits vocally in their criticism of the performance in that game. Much of the focus has again been on Liverpool's star, with Dutch icons such as Van Basten, who's Kopijs just mentioned, focusing on him again this week and insisting the player who now wears the armband for his country needs to do more. The Liverpool defender has regularly been the focus of criticism for his country and in turn regularly insisted he's not bothered and that people are entitled to say what they wish. It seems he's now changed that tact, though, and admits he knows that improvement is needed and the comments are somewhat justified. It goes without saying, he says, that I have taken responsibility now. We have spoken a lot in the last 48 hours and some harsh words have been spoken. That is, of course, necessary because some things have certainly happened. I feel like it helped, but it's really time to show that. It makes perfect sense. I'm going to work on that. I blame myself too. I'm not crazy. I know when things need to be improved. That's what I'm working on. That is the basis of getting better. The last match was definitely not my best, but personally, that has not happened often this season. It is important to me that it stops now. That is the responsibility I take now. That responsibility is very great, especially at Holland, and the criticism affects me. So it does affect him now, then, I guess, in regards to all of this. Excuse, I hope you're doing well, pal. Hope you're well, mate. Copa of Anfield. Who else could be captain? Is that for captain of the Dutch team you're talking about there, mate? I can't really think. Who else have they got that could be a captain? Like, I reckon Memphis Depay would love it, wouldn't he? He'd love the captain's armband. Frankie de Jong, maybe. I don't know. Can't really think of anyone else that would potentially become the captain for Liverpool, in all fairness. I mean, not for Liverpool. What is it? Netherlands, Holland. Don't know why I said that then. Right, guys. So I think that is it for the Euro players. The Copa America players, guys, now. So, Copa Van, what you say? What about Delight? I think I think he's a bit young in here, to be fair. I'm not too sure, to be fair, about him. I do think as well that there's a lot of talk about him potentially going to Manchester United as well, isn't there? I'm sure there was something today about that. Liverpool were linked to him for so long when it was where would I see that now for him? I'm sure Liverpool linked to him for ages, but apparently he had something wrong with his attitude or something, if I remember that right. I'm sure there was something wrong with his attitude, and that's why Liverpool didn't try and sign him when he was at Juve. Let's have a look what this says here. Yeah, it says here that apparently Man United have offered some money to sign De Ligt. What does it say they're offering him? He's got 3 years left. United couldn't buy Braithwaite for 70 million. And they've offered 30. That's for Braithwaite. What they offered? It doesn't say what they've offered for him here. He joined Bayern for 68 million, so they're going to have to fork out a fair bit for him, I'd say here. What's this here? Manuel Ugarte, agent panics Man United amid transfer pursuit with Liverpool hint. What's that? Let's have a look at this. I haven't seen this one. Manuel Ugarte. Man United have seen their bid to sign Manuel Ugarte hamstrung by the player's agent. Ugarte has set the Copa America alight this summer, playing every minute of the 15 time. Blah, 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 don't need to know about that. What's it saying here? He needs someone to take. Erik ten Hag sees him as the candidate who could fill the role that's been departed by Casemiro. Has he left? Didn't even know he'd left. The move would see him become the first signing under Jim Ratcliffe. However, it's old club rivals Liverpool who have been referenced by the player's agent when discussing what the future holds for Ugarte. Well, where does he say this then? Failing to land on his feet after a big money move from Sporting, the PSG ace is all but certain to head for the exit door during this summer's transfer window. Whether his destination is England or elsewhere, interest is far from scarce, according to his agent, who chose to allude to one club in particular when discussing potential suitors. Speaking to Ohoga, his agent claimed Liverpool. There's a lot of talk, but it is not the only club. There are others. There are many possibilities on the table. Ugarte's agent added to his client will be more likely to depart the French club. It's almost certain that he will not stay at PSG. It's sure he'll leave. I believe the situation will be resolved. That's very interesting about Manuel Ugarte. What's going on here? What am I missing here? Just catch up on some of your things, guys. Diaz 6, Diaz 10. I hope they've been there. Farm back, not bad me. Thanks. Thoughts on Collar Red? LFC in talks with Gestifute, apparently. Yeah, what's that? What's you on about here? Thoughts on what's this? You'll have to let me know what this is. Gestifute. Yeah, his agency's Gestifute, isn't he? Here we go. We're going to have a bloody search, aren't we, guys? Ugarte. I'm sure we've talked about this player before on here. Let's have a look. So, Manuel Ugarte. Let's have a look at his stats for last year. So, it's definitely, it's Gestifute. It says here. His contract doesn't expire, though, till 2028, guys. He's got 4 years left on his deal. All right, I'm just going to load up his stats for this season. Didn't expect to do this, guys. I would have had a bloody stats page ready for you. I've got a full stat page ready for you for Anthony Gordon. Let's have a look. I'm not interested in Uruguay. Why is it just showing me Uruguay? What it show me is league form. I'm sure you guys really aren't that bothered, to be fair. I managed to find it for what's his face earlier on. Let's go back again. Stats. Here we go. All seasons. Click that one. Boom. Right, here we go. So it says here he made 37 appearances all last year. 4 in the Copa de France, 25 in the league, 8 in the Champions League. He got 3 assists. He was on the bench a fair bit. It says he was on the bench in the first leg against Real Sociedad, bench in the first leg against Barcelona, and he was benched against Dortmund when Dortmund knocked him out of the Champions League as well. He got a yellow card suspension. Other than that, he didn't get injured at all of last year or anything like that, according to this, guys. What are they saying his market value is? Have a look. 45 million euros. Obviously, transfer market are not known for keep being accurate with stuff like this. So, but 45 million euros, you're talking probably what there, 30 million pound, 33 million pound. I reckon you're probably looking at about 45 million quid, to be fair, maybe a bit more than that for Ugarte. But yeah, it's interesting, guys. Just just to touch on it, you've got Núñez there on the books. Who else? Diogo Jota on the books. Fabinho, an old Liverpool player, there on the books. Players Liverpool have been linked with. Altonori, I think I've seen him linked with us lately. Antonio Silva. Lenny Yoro, he's on there. The player we spoke about last time. João Neves. Pedro Neto, another guy at Liverpool. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of players on here. In regards to that, I could see that happening. So that's that one then. Manuel Ugarte. I'll have to get some sort of stat page sorted out with that. What's this? Oh, did you make a video about it earlier on, mate? I've not had my phone on me for a bit today. Colour Red, aka John O'Sullivan on Twitter. I don't really follow a lot of people like that on Twitter, unless it's. Let's have a look. You mentioned it. Let's have a look. Is he? What is he known as? Is he? I don't know. Let's have a look. Can't see John O'Sullivan. Can't seem to find him. I don't know if you spelled that name right. Colour Red. It didn't come up with anything. Oh, there you go. Oh, I do follow him. I don't know. He's talking about Kante there. Last couple of minutes. Lukaku. He's talking about Gordon there. I don't know. I don't have an opinion. I'll have to check into it a little bit. In regards to that. Why? What's your opinion on him, John Emery? What's your opinion? I don't really have one. To be fair. In regards to that. Right. So anyway, what we'll talk about, guys. Oh yeah, talk about the Copa America, guys, wasn't I? So that's the banner. We don't need that because it won't show up properly. So let's talk about Macca first, shall we? So Alexis Mac Allister, Argentina won their last game 2-0. He didn't play in that. They are top of the group, having won all their games. He's got 1 assist. Played 180 minutes, 90% passing accuracy, 75% tackles won. He's won 100% of his aerial duels as well, and 14 ball recoveries. Now, Argentina probably expected to go quite far into this tournament. I doubt we'll probably end up seeing him for very much longer. I doubt we'll see him for very long during the pre-season, because obviously when that's over, he'll probably get like a break or something like that in regards to everything. To do with that. So I guess him being rested there makes sense if they didn't need him. But yeah, just to basically say, guys, if he's doing well for Argentina. Hopefully can bring that form over to Liverpool. I have noticed as well, looking at his patterns of play, that he's not playing as deep as he started doing for Liverpool. He's playing a bit further out. So, if Liverpool do this 4-2-3-1, I reckon he would be in the double pivot, but maybe not the one that's holding. If he was to play with like a Ugarte, for instance, I reckon he would be given a bit more freedom to go forward and help out with the attacking play in that way. What's this, Muscusi? Thank you, lad. Thank you. Appreciate it. Shauno, it's Colby Red FSG out guy. All right, okay, cool. I'll have to have a little bit of a look about that. Thank you for the heads up. Next player for Liverpool in the Copa America is one that I'm very, very excited about, guys, and it is Darwin Núñez. Now, I know a lot of people don't think that this is ought to be cracked up about, but I think this is showing he's doing really, really good for me, what I mean? So basically, Uruguay won 5-0 in their last game against Bolivia. They are top of the group, also having won all their games. He scored twice, and I've put his XG there of 1.69. So that shows that he's outperforming his expected goals at the Copa America, which might make a few Liverpool fans think, bloody hell, what's going on there, which I do as well. But the fact that he's finding the back of the net goes to show that whatever he's doing for Uruguay and the way he's playing shows that maybe something that Liverpool are doing with him is not the right way, and to get the best out of him, in all fairness. He's played 173 minutes, so he's not even played every single game all the time. 70% passing accuracy, 69% dribble success. And he's also, guys, in the last game, tied a 96-year-old record after scoring for 7 straight games for Uruguay. And I think, if I remember rightly, their next game is against America. And if he was to score in that game, he would obviously break that record. So he would then be a record-holding striker for Uruguay. And there was an article here about him that was on, where's this from? This is on Sports Witness, and it came out a few days ago, to be fair. And it's basically saying here that Darwin Núñez has admitted that he's in regular contact with Luis Suarez to try and learn from him as much as possible. The striker has been speaking while at the Copa America with his country, where he plays alongside Suarez under Marcelo Bielsa. That's a lot of my mates love Bielsa. They're all Leeds fans. The striker made his debut for his country in 2019 and hasn't looked back since, with 12 goals in 24 games. The latest of those goals came in a 3-1 win over Panama as Uruguay kicked off their Copa America campaign with a victory in an impressive early form this week. So obviously he scored against Bolivia as well. So that stat now would be 13 goals in 25 games, which I think is pretty good as well. The Liverpool star is very much the future for his country, but isn't quite number one yet, with Suarez still available despite his advancing years. He has 68 goals in 138 games for his country since making his debut in 2007. In the meantime, Núñez admits he's in regular contact with his teammate to try and learn as much as he can, something which will surely be music to Liverpool fans' ears. And then there's some quotes here from Núñez. More than anything else, you will always need the support of your teammates. I think that in the national team today, we have a beautiful group, a group that if a player is bad, we know that reference like Luis Suarez are going to come, who is always there and giving advice. I always try to get together with him to talk about football things about his past. He is always there to try and give me advice and take everything as possible. Take everything as positive and try applying it. So that one's quite interesting, guys. What do you all think about that? Do you think he could learn anything from Luis Suarez? Is it tonight when they play America? That'd be good, wouldn't it? Núñez deserves a chance under Slot. Yeah, I do as well, especially when you look at what Slot managed to do with that other lad. What was he called? What was that lad called? Santiago Jimenez, I think his name was, for Feyenoord. I do believe that, and Copites Van Field said I also agree with you in regards to that. Yeah, I think he should get a decent chance under Arne Slot to be able to do a bit more and be potentially a lot better for Liverpool going forward. I think it's interesting as well, to learn from Luis Suarez. Looking back, obviously, a lot of the stuff that Suarez did, we don't agree with now that he's moved on and everything. But regarding the whole biting and everything, and all the situations he did there. But at the same time, you can't deny the talent he had. He was a right player. And I think if Luis Suarez had been a few years younger and he'd have played under Jurgen Klopp, we may have even seen an even better version of Luis Suarez, in all fairness, with the players that he would have been surrounded by. I mean, I'm sure that there was a Luis Suarez interview recently, and they were saying like how he helped turn Liverpool into what they are now because of how good he was. It made people want to come to Liverpool because when he first got there, people didn't want to play for Liverpool and stuff like that. Something along them lines, anyway. But yeah, Luis Suarez, what a player he was back in the day, for Liverpool. What are you saying here? I would try and get Suarez to come back as a striker coach. Yeah, it could maybe show Núñez how to turn Norwich into his personal goal scoring. I don't know what to say. Pocket, I guess. Suarez always seemed to score a gem, didn't he, against what are they called? Norwich. Always scored an absolute pearler against them. Or if he didn't score a pearler, he always scored like 3 or 4 goals. Wasn't there this one time where like in a row he scored like a hat trick in the games against them? Something like 2 games in a row that he scored a hat trick against Norwich, and he scored twice, didn't he, from his own half, or at least from the halfway line against them as well. Yeah, he was a bit of a player. Was Luis Suarez? You'd put him in your best Liverpool team. Not a bad shout. Who would be go on then, Cop Out? So who would be your strike front 3, front 2 for Liverpool then? Like you said there, in your best Liverpool team 11, who would be partnering Suarez for you? Like in my lifetime, I'd probably put him with like Torres or something like that. I don't know in regards to that. Suarez and Torres up front in a 4-4-2 formation. But yeah, I liked Suarez a lot when I was younger, to be fair. Is that it for the Copa? Yeah, that's it for the Copa, guys. Right, so hold on, I've got no comment. Fowler and Rush. So you play 4-3-3 Fowler, Rush and Suarez. That's not a bad shout, is it, guys? That is not a bad shout at all. Fowler, Rush and Suarez is the front 3. That's pretty good, is that? Won't lie about that at all. Right, so we're going to move on to what should we do? Yeah, we'll do the Anthony Gordon stuff now. Let's just do it, shall we? This stream might only be a short stream, guys. I've only there's not much to talk about. Liverpool are very quiet. There's an article I want to cover off The Athletic in regards to that, which I'll probably do. Yeah, should we do that now? Let's do it now, because I just mentioned it. So James Pearce put an article out today on The Athletic titled, "Why is everything so quiet at Liverpool?" I won't read the whole thing out to you, but I'm just going to pick out some snippets here and there. So it goes here that rewind 12 months and Liverpool had acted swiftly and decisively to land their top targets in the transfer market. We know that Bellingham didn't come, yeah, guys, and who was the top target. By the start of July last year, they had already signed Szoboszlai, Alexis Mac Allister, and they were 2 elite midfielders brought in for a combined fee of £95 million. As a new era dawns under Arne Slot with the start of pre-season testing at Kirkby this week, it's been a much quieter summer. No God, my tongue got tied then. No incomings, and the only outgoing so far, the departure of fullback Calvin Ramsey on loan to Wigan. The rumour mill has gone into overdrive with Lenny Euro linked with Liverpool with no real substance. Liverpool's interest is strong, but competition is fierce, and they expect the European champions to sign him. It emerged over the weekend that with Newcastle keen to raise funds, that Liverpool had turned down a proposal to sign Anthony Gordon that would have seen Kwanzaa moving to St James's Park as part of the deal. Anfield figures didn't believe it was worthy of consideration. Liverpool admire Gordon, but they already have strength in depth on the left side of attack and felt that Newcastle's valuation of the England international was excessive. With Kwanzaa's stock so high after an impressive breakthrough season, there was no chance that Liverpool would sanction his departure. What else is there going? I just want to skip forward a little bit. The landscape compared to the off-season a year ago is very different. Back then, Liverpool needed midfield reinforcements after the glaring exits of Milner, Naby Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain, combined with the alarming downturn in output from Henderson and Fabinho. Buying 2 number 8s wasn't a desire, but a necessity, and the size of the midfield rebuild facing Klopp then grew significantly later in July when Henderson and Fabinho both had their heads turned by the riches on offer in Saudi, which ultimately led to the signings of Endo and Gravenberch. Now, James Pearce goes on to say here that Liverpool don't have such gaping holes to fill currently. Do they need to strengthen the squad? Of course, and they will in this window, but it's a case of fine-tuning rather than sweeping changes. Now, do you guys agree with that? Do you guys agree with the fact that, if Liverpool don't have any glaring holes, like I don't really see that, to be fair. What's this here? Do your best. All right, okay, I'll do that for next stream next week. I'll get that one done. Cheers, guys. Thoughts on if Liverpool will be able to extend the Kop stand? I don't think they can. I don't think it's possible to extend the Kop because of that, where the houses are behind it and the roadworks and everything like that. I don't think it'd happen. I think they've done all they literally can do now with Anfield now. What's this, Redman? Any updates on Gordon? No updates, I'd say, but I'm going to just get to a few things about him in a bit. I'm just covering off this article from The Athletic. So, where were we, guys? So, yeah, the question was for you guys in the comments while I read a bit further. Do you think that Liverpool have any glaring holes right now? You know, as James Pearce just mentioned there, they didn't really need Anthony Gordon. They've got, on that left-hand side, they've got Diaz, Jota, Gakpo. He could play Jones there. He could play Núñez there. I've seen some people mentioning in comments that Gordon predominantly played out on the right for Everton. So he could come in as a backup for Salah, which I could probably see. That makes a bit more sense. We had something similar that happened with the whole Mane-Salah situation, didn't we? When Mane, when he first came to Liverpool, played out on that right-hand side. And then when we signed Salah, he moved over to the other side. So maybe we bring in Gordon and play him in a different position. I'm not too sure, guys. But anyway, this article here, get back to this, shall we? You guys let me know if you think there's any holes that Liverpool need to fill, like James Pearce says that we don't. So what we've got here. Aside from the Premier League clubs desperately doing deals, but anything like that, blah, 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 the Euros and the Copa America always have an impact with players' futures on hold while they focus on international commitments, which makes sense. And then there's the added factor of Slot wanting to assess the merits of those he has inherited before making final decisions about where each of them stands in terms of his plans for the campaign ahead. I don't agree with that. I do think that Liverpool are already making moves in regards to signing new players. There will be. There's there's 7 weeks until the season starts. There's no way that Liverpool are not doing anything behind the scenes right now. I don't care what they say. We need to know about that. Slot's been in daily contact with new sporting director Richard Hughes as Liverpool adjust to a new off-the-field structure. Input from FSG CEO Football Michael Edwards. It will be a collaborative approach to transfers with data heavily influencing who is purchased and at what price. There's a strong belief internally that there's a lot of untapped potential in the squad in Núñez, Konaté and Szoboszlai. All faded badly last season on form and confidence dipped. Kelleher told The Athletic last month that he wants to be a number one, but remains to be seen if anyone will make Liverpool an offer that they can't refuse for £25 million. If, as expected, Adrian turns down the 1-year offer on the table and joins boyhood club Real Betis, Liverpool may need to recruit another experienced goalkeeper anyway. Alisson is away with Brazil at the Copa America and is still coveted by Saudi Pro League clubs, but there's no suggestion that he's interested in a move this summer. The same goes for Van Dijk and Salah. Sorting out the contracts, touches on Thiago. Here we go. I'm trying to just find some stuff for you guys. Decisions like that will be influenced by where Slot sees Trent, whether he intends to employ a 4-2-3-1 formation he favoured at Feyenoord. With Matip gone, it would be a gamble not to sign a centre-back, given Konaté's fitness record. I think we can all agree on that. At the top end of the field, all the noise around Luis Diaz's future has yet to lead to anything concrete. The Colombian is on international duty, and Liverpool aren't looking to sell him. Greater cover on the right side of attack would certainly benefit slot. So maybe that's where the whole Anthony Gordon thing came into. Morton and Van der Berg are among those returning from successful loan spells and are attracting interest from other clubs. Both are valued at around 20 million. The transfer kitty will be topped up by sales. However, it's spent and the pathway from the academy to the first team, which existed under Klopp, will remain very much open. There's a commitment to ensure that there is space in the squad for youngsters to take the next step. Quansah and Bradley being the perfect examples of those to flourish last season. And that's pretty much it, guys, from James Pearce. Not much in there, I guess. Nothing that we didn't already know. Just someone trying to keep the job in regards to all of that. Yeah, Bakayoko, he could be someone that Liverpool go get, couldn't they, for the whole Liverpool's backup for Salah. And yes, I was going to touch on that, Copa. There is a slot press conference on Friday at 11 o'clock when it's already up. If you go on YouTube and you go on the Liverpool YouTube channel, they've got like a live event on there and you can click the notification. So you get a notification when that goes live. So I'm not telling you to go do that now because obviously, you know, you're watching this. But as soon as this stream's over with, go over to the Liverpool YouTube channel and you'll see it there. It's happening this Friday at 11 o'clock. Slot will meet the media for the first time. What's he put here? What are you sorry for, Copa? It's what you're sorry for? I'll be sorry. Nothing to be sorry for. Right then, let's touch this Anthony Gordon stuff, guys. I know that's why the majority of you are here, to see what Adam's cooked up with his stat sheets and stuff like that. So, tell you what we'll do. We'll go through. Should we go through what's actually happened with Anthony Gordon over the past few days? So, this all started back, Saturday, Friday, in regards to Newcastle needing to raise some funds for this PSR thing that obviously they have to raise. Was it like, it was rumored to be 30 and then there was 40 million pounds they had to raise in regards to not getting like a penalty for like points or anything like that. But, you know, and it said that they'd basically offered, don't matter, mate, don't matter. So yeah, it was said that they were offered a deal where I've seen a few people saying that it was 65 million, 60 million, 75 million, whatever it was that plus Quansah. Now, Liverpool have turned that down, which they did rightly so. Like, who in their right mind would do that, get rid of Quansah and especially pay for a player that we don't specifically need right now. I'm sure there was something I wanted to say earlier. There was a lot of like people changing their opinions as well, guys. Like, I'm sure the Telegraph had an article a day apart where they basically turned around and said on one day that Newcastle had offered out Gordon to Liverpool, and then the day after they retracted that and basically said that they didn't. So it is what it is, isn't it, really, in regards to that. And then obviously Newcastle were trying to sell anybody, and they ended up selling that Minter to Brighton for like 33 million pounds. And they also sold another youngster, Elliot Anderson, I think his name is, to another team. I can't remember off the top of my head if it was Wolves or Nottingham Forest, something like that. And basically they managed to raise the money, so they didn't before the deadline, which was yesterday at midnight. Anyway, cut forward to all this now. It's basically going off a fair bit, basically saying, let's have a look what some people are saying here. Copites, yeah, Ashworth has gone to United. Miss Gouze, you'd take Gordon even though he looks like a lesbian, but I wouldn't be doing a swap deal. Yeah, 100%. Wouldn't be doing that. 50 million plus Kelleher. Someone mentioned that to me the other day, earlier on today, actually. Someone mentioned 50 million plus Kelleher, but I would think that Liverpool would want to get money for Kelleher rather than just let him go. Do you know what I mean? Because on the books for Kelleher, I'm sure he came up through the academy. So any money you get from him would go down on the books as pure profit. If that makes sense. I think that makes sense. Say, for instance, if Liverpool were to sell a player halfway through the contract, you know, say we signed him for 50 million. He had a 50 million. He had a 5-year deal. So obviously that'd be 10 million per year that he would go down on the books. Yeah. So if they sold him then after 2 seasons, then Liverpool would have to sell him for over 30 million to make a profit on what was left of the deal. Does that make? I think I'm making sense. But anyway, I do think that they'd want straight cash for Kelleher because there was no transaction, I don't think, involved in signing him. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but that's just kind of what I think it would be. So yeah, that's what's happened, guys. It's all done, all that. And then we've had these today, guys. So I've got this bit here that I've made this today. Let me just get rid of that chat. Sorry, copyrights. Need to get rid of that so we can all read it properly. This is basically all the quotes that have come out from different journalists regarding the Anthony Gordon situation. Now, I'll have to get rid of that banner at the bottom. You can't see that last name. There we go. So at the top, Aaron Stokes at the Chronicle, which is like the Northeast paper. He's been quoted as saying that Anthony Gordon has attracted interest from Liverpool, but Newcastle value him among their most prized assets and won't want to lose him now their short-term PSR worries have eased. Now, again, you're going to see the difference, and this is why I've done it this way, guys, because the top one, the third one, and the bottom one are all Newcastle related and, supportive. Paul Goist at the Echo is the Liverpool point of view, right? So let's just see how different these actually are. So moving to the Echo now, they said the chance of signing Gordon this weekend might have represented something of an opportunistic deal for Liverpool outside of their wider plans for the coming window. And beyond under Arne Slot, but this is a subplot that could yet run and run. Even if snaring the England winner at a knockdown price, PSR impacted costs have now passed. It's insisted no offer was ever made, but much of what happens with Gordon, from Liverpool's perspective now, could yet hinge on Luis Diaz's future. So, Liverpool point of view here, Liverpool will only basically go for Gordon if Diaz is moved on, right? That's what I take from this. What's this? I've got a comment here. PSV are interested in Sepp Van der Beek, but unable to reach that. It's like 20 million, isn't it, mate? I think something along them lines. Anyway, that's what we've just discussed that now. I think Liverpool value him at around 20 million. Next up, we've got the Newcastle reporter for The Athletic. Conversations with Liverpool over Gordon came out of desperation, despite Newcastle wanting to retain the winger. But there are lingering fears internally that his head may now have been turned. So that's from the Newcastle point of view. They're worried that Gordon now, with all this going on, and we've seen a few Liverpool fans have said this online as well, I've seen it being mentioned, that now obviously he knows that Newcastle tried to get rid. Is he going to be like, well, I'll just go then? Some people have said that, I remember it now that people mentioned it, but I didn't remember it at first, but some people were telling me earlier on that, Gordon did this at Everton. When he wanted to leave Everton, he basically stopped playing or something like that to get the move. Now, is that what he's going to do at Newcastle? He's a Liverpool fan. If you look at some of the pictures that came out over the weekend when all this was kicking off, he went to Liverpool games, he had Liverpool top. He's been speaking very highly of Steven Gerrard in the press while he's been with England, and said that basically you'll never walk alone. In regards to entrances and stuff like that, and atmosphere at ground, you'll never walk alone is one of the best he's ever witnessed or anything like that. So this lad is basically saying that he wants Liverpool. He's Liverpool through and through after me here. And that was the next thing I was about to say. Like he talks about Salah and Salah's influence on the way he plays and how he watches him to see how he could help improve himself and all this stuff in regards to that. So it shows, guys, like this lad, I think he wants this move desperately. And then lastly, guys, I saw this. This was on the Redmond TV. They put it out on like Twitter. So I've just wrote down the quotes from Lee Ryder, who's also at the Chronicle, which is the Newcastle paper, basically saying that there's 2 months left of the transfer window. They can't say that the door is closed on Gordon going to Liverpool, with the transfer window open until August. And this could be a saga that rumbles on. So this isn't over, guys. This Anthony Gordon stuff, as much as you hear things now, see things now, trying to play this down, I personally don't think that we've heard the last of Anthony Gordon to Liverpool. I really don't. Now, just to show you this, guys, I did do a video regarding Anthony Gordon earlier the other day, and I showed this little thing that I made on that video. But just for those of you that weren't there and didn't watch it, this is my little profile, shall we say, for Anthony Gordon. So obviously Newcastle, 23 years of age, left winger, valuation at 60 to 75 million pounds. Other interested clubs are rumoured to be PSG. Again, people think that Newcastle are just using that as an excuse to try and bump up the price. He made 49 appearances last year, 12 goals, 11 assists. Can't really, you can't really say that's bad, can you, guys? He missed one game due to injury in the league. He made 89% of the starting 11s, completing 85% of the minutes. He had a 25% goal participation last year, which basically is a quarter of all goals and assists that Newcastle did last year. He was involved with. He got booked 12 times and one red card also. Now, these little graph things here at the bottom, these are the percentiles. So Anthony Gordon was in the top 82% for progressive carries. He was not as good with successful dribbles, but he was almost in the top 3/4. Non-penalty goals, he was pretty high at 76.6%. His XG for goals and assists was 81.2, which is pretty good. Assists, he was in the top 86.2. Key passes, 57.3. Offensive actions was quite low, I think, for a winger at 69.6, and he played 3,232 minutes. God, my tongue got tired then saying all that. And then against all other wingers as a performance index, guys, Anthony Gordon was the third best winger performance index rated compared to all other wingers. And as you can see there, Saka was number one, Cole Palmer. Anthony Gordon was just 1 point behind Cole Palmer, followed by Phil Foden and Mo Salah were tied, 2 points behind Gordon, and then followed up by Leon Bailey at Aston Villa. So he did perform pretty well last year, guys, at Anthony Gordon, according to all of this. I don't think it can really be denied, in all fairness, that this lad is a bit of a baller, in all fairness. And Liverpool would be pretty lucky to get him. You know, I did think over the weekend it could potentially happen due to the knockdown price, but with that now going, I think it's probably going to take him forcing the move. So we'll have to just wait and see what happens. You know, there was rumours going around that England had given him the go-ahead to be able to, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Go for a medical in Leipzig or something. Just think if it was to happen, but obviously it's all gone a bit dead now. So we'll have to just wait and see what happens there regarding him. So I'll catch up on some of these comments, guys, before we go on to the next topic. Muscusi would love the nuclear blue. Yeah, that'd be quite funny. He stopped showing up to training yet. Salah, we touched that one. He's subject to abuse outside Goodison before he moved. Probably made his not yet. Ugarte could be done this week, and Slot will talk about him. Not a bad shout. At Copa, it's not a bad shout. I think the only way we get Gordon is Diaz or Salah goes. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Cavastella 23, 24 starts 44 games. I haven't gone like this anyway. Exactly, like he played maybe four more games than him, sorry, but he got, you know, and he got 2 more assists and 1 extra goal. But it's in the Premier League as well. It's the same league. That for me is miles above that. Like it was in the same league. Anthony Gordon, I watch Salah a lot numbers wise. The positions he takes up, the runs in behind, he's unbelievable. He's probably the best player in the world for me because he has exactly, yeah. This is what I'm saying. Like this lad, he's bigging up Liverpool. He wants the move. I don't care what anybody says. He wants the move. Who do I think Liverpool will sell this summer? I think if a decent offer comes in, Kelleher goes, Nat Phillips, Sepp Vandenberg, Tyler Morton is probably on the way out as well. If they've already got like a valuation for him, you got to think that they've talked about getting rid of him. I'd say there's question marks over Tsimikas. I'd say that potentially Robbo. Robbo is not most likely, but I'd say that there's question marks over him as well. Into the midfield, we've got Tyler Morton, as I've already mentioned. I don't think we'll see any of the other players leave. I think Endo stays another season at least. Carvalho, yeah, he could be one that goes. But I think depending on what formation we go with, he could be played as in a number 10 role, which is something that he says that he prefers doing rather than being played as a winger. So maybe the next stream, I might show what I think Liverpool could line up with. I think I've done that already, to be fair. But yeah, I could see next season Liverpool lining up 4-2-3-1. Just off the top of my head, guys, right now, right? You'd go Alisson, Trent, Kwanzaa, Van Dijk, Robbo, Mac Allister, Endo. Just going off players I've already got. Maka, Endo, or maybe Gravenberch in that position as well. Maka and maybe Gravenberch in the double pivot. And then the three behind the striker, you'd probably go Gakpo, Szoboszlai, Salah, Núñez. That's potentially how I could see Liverpool lining up next year with just what we've got. Sounds a bit exciting to me, does that, to be fair? And I could see Carvalho playing as backup to Szoboszlai. I could see Elliott playing there as well. So maybe Carvalho does get moved on. Do I think Gordon is better than Diaz? Yeah. I think he's got more. The problem for me is right now, I think Diaz doesn't have the end product. Diaz is very good at getting around a player, getting the ball in the box, but he doesn't assist. He doesn't have that final ball. He doesn't shoot. He doesn't score much. So if you were to give me a choice of Gordon and Diaz, I probably would say, Gordon, in all fairness, I really would. You read that Gordon has decided he doesn't want to move to Liverpool. So does that mean he does want the move to Liverpool? Do you mean by that? PSV wants Seb, but I can't get them out here. Maybe Bakayoko. Yeah, maybe. You don't think Gravenberch will get last? There was something that he said though, wasn't he? Like Gravenberch's dad said that he reckons that he would play more under slot just due to the way they play and everything like that. Martinez is a number 10. He plays there a fair bit, didn't he? He played there behind Lukaku, didn't he, for Inter Milan? Doesn't track back, doesn't press. I don't know. I just get a feeling he's not going to make it, Grav. I'll have to just wait and see what happens. He'll get a chance this summer. It's exciting though, isn't it, guys? You got to think, like, if it's all happening now and they're all coming back together and there's 7 weeks till like the Premier League starts, we're going to start seeing some pre-season games soon. And I know like they're not the best thing ever and everything like that, but it'd be good to see how Liverpool actually do line up. It'd be very, very interesting to see how they line up in the first couple of games. Gordon doesn't want to come to Liverpool. Could you send me a link to that, mate? You got my details and that. Just send me a link to it so I can have a read of it. Grav's been paid 200 grand. Yeah, he's got a good agent. For sure, yeah. He's got a really good agent as Ryan Gravenberch. Can't deny that. So yeah, guys, I've been asked the question there by Copites. Let's open up to you guys. Do you think that Anthony Gordon is better than Luis Diaz? If you were given a choice of, say, like, right, you can either have Luis Diaz or you can have Anthony Gordon, what would you do? Let me know what would you guys do? Would you guys take Anthony Gordon over Luis Diaz? I'd like to know what you think in regards to that. I'd definitely take Anthony Gordon. I'm pretty sure I would take Anthony Gordon. And that's just not recency bias either. Let's have a look again. Is there anything else I could touch on, I guess? So I guess the last thing, guys, for me to touch on today is another player I've already spoken about. We spoke about him last week, and it doesn't seem to go away. But James Pearce touched on it just then. Let's have a quick. You would take Gordon. Prem proven has the potential to be world class. Will inflate numbers in a better team. Yes, he's direct. He has pace. Yes, agreed. He has the end product as well. That's the key thing for me. He has the end product. Right, guys. So lastly, before I get off, I've been streaming for nearly an hour. I didn't even think I'd last this long, to be fair. Touched on this player last week, but again, he has been mentioned with Liverpool this week, and it is Calafiori. if the Mog's here, I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. He will tell me if I did or not. So, again, just to quickly touch on this lad. He's 22 years of age, left-footed centre-back. Valuation was, at the time of writing this, between 25, 30 million pounds. City, Juve and Tottenham were all interested at the time. He made 39 appearances, 2 goals, 5 assists. Did not miss a league game due to injury. 72% starting in the starting 11, completed 72% of the minutes available. 13% goal participation for a centre-back. And he's got 4 yellow cards. Again, percentiles at the bottom, guys. Top 84.6 for passes completed. 76.8 for forward passes. 37.1 for progressive passes, which sounds a little bit low for a centre-back, but still. Defensive actions, 87. Defensive duels, he's only won 55% of them. Which is, I'd say, for a 22-year-old centre-back, that's decent. Progressive carries, he is high, 91.4. That reminds me very much of a Matip. I think I have seen a video of him basically dinking a ball over a goalkeeper. Someone mentioned last week in the chat, I'm sure they did, that he started off as a DM. Miscuze, you're going, mate. Nice for you to pop by again, mate. I'll speak to you next week, all being well. So yeah, his progressive carries are pretty high. I would say he's very much in the Matip mold, and he played 2,543 minutes last season, guys. So again, I'll just show you I'll go through the article. So this came out yesterday, this one, and it says that Arsenal have made their inquiry for the defender, and Liverpool also like him. But the Gunners have an issue. So Bologna are reportedly ready to welcome Premier League offers for their star defender Calafiori following his impressive performances in the Euros. The Italian centre-back has caught the attention of Arsenal and Juve, among others. However, Bologna is still smarting from how Juve poached boss Thiago Motta would prefer to sell him to an English club. Arsenal have already expressed interest in him, but their pursuit may hinge on the future of, I can't pronounce that name, one of their players who is on the radar of Juve and AC Milan. Calafiori has spent most of this season playing as a centre-back, although he previously played as a left-back for Roma and Basel. Liverpool's new sporting director, Richard Hughes, is known to be a fan of the player, having followed his career during his tenure at Bournemouth. And importantly also, Liverpool are reportedly on the hunt for a left-footed centre-back this summer. Chelsea are also looking to bolster their defence, although any move for Calafiori will likely be dependent on departures. Levi Colwill is not on the market, while offers for Badiashile may still be entertained. West Ham are also interested in him in a growing list of people that are interested in him, as Bologna are resigned to losing the young star, but will demand a hefty selling-on fee expected to exceed £40 million, as Basel are entitled to 40% of any sale over £5 million. And despite the rumours, Real Madrid are not interested at this point. So that's a key point there, guys. So for what they sell him over, £5 million, they have to pay Basel 40%. So, if they sell him for 40 million quid, Basel get what? 15 million pounds of that? Bloody hell, they've got a right deal in regards to that, haven't they? But he seems to be like one of the players that Liverpool have been linked with. It fits the mould. Rafter, a left-footed centre-back. He can play left-back as well. So that, for me, ties into the whole Shimmercast stuff. If he was to go... what's this? Take it easy. You've misread it. Okay. I watched bits of it, yeah. I watched bits of it. They were pretty bad, to be fair, with France. Yeah, they're pretty bad. Pretty bad. And the way they celebrated Mbappe's penalty when no one wanted to touch his face, did they, in case they broke his nose again? Who would I prefer, Edison or Ugarte? Tell you what. if I can try and get a comparison up for you on the stats, if you give me enough time. Let's have a look. Ugarte. And then we'll also add, who we're going to add? What's he called? Did you say? Ederson at Atalanta. So I can't show you this, guys, because it won't let me show you it. But comparing the two players here on last season's stats, Ugarte is a year younger than Ederson. Duels, they're on the same. So they're both in the top 57% percentile. Defensive actions, Ugarte is 96.9. So he's well above. He's pretty. He's literally nearly at the top. Ederson is 66.6. So he's a bit of a way off. Progressive carries. Again, Ugarte wins it there. He's got 35.8 against Ederson's 24.5. Forward passes, Ugarte is 27.9 compared to Ederson's 84.6. Forward pass completion, Ugarte 45, Ederson 71. Key passes, Ugarte 14, Ederson 47. Progressive passes, Ugarte 31.6, Ederson 87.8. And then minutes played, Ugarte played 2,104 and Ederson played 3,114. So they're completely different players. Me looking at these stats here, Copites. What's this? Sorry. Am I going to turn it? I'll turn it on after this, I think. Yeah. I'm going to try and get this finished up pretty soon. I reckon Portugal win 2-1 or something like that. Voice is going now. I need a drink. So, Copites, just to answer your question, just going off these stats in front of me right now, they're completely different players. Judging by this, if you're after a more defensive player, you go with Ugarte. If you're after a more Mac Allister type player, I'd say, because Ederson seems to be able to do a little bit of the defensive action, but his game seems to be more about getting the ball forward and creating chances and progressing the ball up the pitch. Then you go with Ederson. But yeah, if we're sticking for some type of, say, like destroyer Fabinho type player, based on this, I'd be going with Ugarte. In all fairness, in regards to that, have I missed someone? There we go. Born 3S32. Diaz is one trip pony, but Gordon, I think, is not a trip pony. Yeah, maybe. You're probably right there. Copites is going for 3-1 Portugal. But yeah, judging by them stats, Copites, the two completely different players is Ederson and Ugarte. So I would probably I'd probably go with Ugarte depending on what it is you're looking for, in all fairness. Right then, guys, I think I'm going to probably call the stream here. There's nothing much else to talk about, I think. Let me have a quick browse, see if I can see anything. Anything broken, anything like that? Anything we could touch on? Nope. Newcastle are in talks with a winger, apparently, amid Gordon's transfer fear. Let's have a look what that says. Anything here? Who are they supposed to be after? Does it even name him? Don't even name anybody. So what they're on about? That, see, I hate stuff like that. Proper clickbait, man, didn't it? Endo's going to make a decision about the Olympics, if he's going or not, by the 3rd of July. So what day that'd be? Wednesday, wouldn't it? Yeah. So on Wednesday, we're going to find out if Endo's going to the Olympics. Salah's put a picture up about his fitness. What's this here? Liverpool urged to play along as sporting director lifts lids on 20 million transfer talks. Who's this about? Mainz. Oh, they're talking this today. This is today. Mainz sporting director has admitted they need to be patient if they want to sign Van der Berg and has urged Liverpool to play along. Any quotes? It's difficult. I can't do that. When asked about negotiations getting forward, we're waiting. We've been in contact with Liverpool several times. When Liverpool starts training, there won't be an essential defender there because they're all spread out across Europe and the Copa America. And then they want to take a look and take their time. That makes sense. Sepp has made it clear that he would really like to stay in Mainz and we would really like to keep him. Now Liverpool have to play along too. We're giving Liverpool the time and we're taking the time. So, sounds like, so they say, the sport build that Richard Hughes has more important issues than a player who was on loan at Germany. I'm not even sure he knows who Sepp van der Berg is. What the fuck? What? Van der Berg is expected to be back at the AXA training centre this week as Liverpool gets underway. Van Dijk, Konaté, Gomez are all away competing in the Euros. And Van der Berg will be joined by Kwanzaa, Phillips, Nalo, and Reece Williams and Cumento, who are all supposed to be back as centre-backs. So there's a bit of a lie there in regards to Liverpool not having any centre-backs for training purposes, I guess. Where clubs don't have to release players for... No, they don't. They don't. They don't have to release players now. Copa, what's better for building up my channel? Shorts or vids, in your opinion? I've had 2.7 views on my vids in the last 40 hours. There's that, so that you've had 2.7k views on your shorts included as well. I'd probably say videos, mate. That's what I did. I just did videos. I've only just started doing the lives. The lives don't really seem to be taking off that well. Like, there's 36 people watching this. 9 of them are on YouTube. I think I'm going to just guess now the majority of them will be over on X. Yeah, it's 25 over on X. So that's where it's all coming. All your vids. So is that includes your shorts as well, yeah? I'm guessing that'll include your shorts. But yeah, that's what I'd say. It depends on your topics as well, mate. There's got to be something to talk about as well. You know, it's been a bit of a quiet month, not going to lie, as June in regards to everything, because there's nothing much really to talk about. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. You'll probably get more views on your shorts, like in regards to that. Like, but I think it takes you a bit longer to do anything with shorts if you go down that way. So I'd probably just stick to videos, mate, if you can do. Takes a bit longer with shorts to achieve certain milestones that you'll need to do for your channel and stuff, I think. But yeah. Right then, guys, I think that's going to be it. I'll call it there for this stream. Thanks for joining, guys. I hope you've all had a good time. I hope you've all enjoyed the stream. I think it's been pretty good, to be fair. I'll be back next week for episode 8 of AKM Live. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, guys. Put some comments in down below as well. Let me know what your thoughts on everything we've covered here today. And all being well, guys, I'll see you later on this week with some videos regarding Liverpool. But I will be back next Monday for the next AKM Live, episode 8. I'll see you then, guys.